How's it going, everybody? It's Jim. So the newest proposed stimulus means that you will make $450 every single week just for going back to work. Senator Portman brought up the idea with other Republicans, which would offer cash incentives for Americans to go back to work. So right now, if you're unemployed, you're probably receiving a $600 bonus every single week on top of the base unemployment. Now, Republicans are very concerned that this extra $600 boost is so generous that it's going to discourage people from actually going back to work. I mean, think about it. If you're making more money without having to go to work, why would you go to work? The main issue with people not returning to work is it's going to slow the economic recovery once we start to open things back up in America. And on top of that, the bigger issue here, guys, is not enough people are smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. But seriously, make sure you do that. It does help out my channel tremendously. Now, Democrats want to extend this $600 per week unemployment boost. That is currently set to end on July 31st. And the Democrats are proposing to extend that all the way until the end of the year. In fact, January 31st. Now, Mitch McConnell replies to this saying, "This will not be in the next bill. In order to create jobs, we need to incentivize people to go back to work, not encourage them to stay home." So, I mean, it's obvious that a ton of people are out of work right now. I mean, just about 40 million people filed for unemployment. And obviously the government just can't sit back and relax while all this goes on. They have to provide aid and support for the people. So this extra $600 boost every week was a great idea. So right now the Republicans are facing kind of a tough situation. They want to reopen the country, get the economy moving again, get all the gears turning. But if this $600 employment boost is in place, you can't really do that because nobody's going to want to go back to work. And at the same time, you can't just cut this thing out all completely. So the whole idea behind this is we need to replace this $600 boost. So Senator Rob Portman suggests that we offer a $450 bonus every single week if you go back to work, on top of the wage that you make. So let's say your normal wage is $1,000 per week. With this $450 bonus, you would make $1,450. That ain't bad. That's almost like a 50% raise. But this proposal offers way more than just $450 a week. In fact, Rob Portman says this proposal is great for employees because they could go back to work, they go back to the healthcare, and go back to retirement savings on top of having a nice bonus for doing so. Additionally to that, it will save taxpayers money and also save small businesses from going out of business. And we all know they're struggling like the hardest right now. I think he brought up some really great points there because a lot of people tend to forget the perks that your job offers. It's not just your paycheck coming in every week. It's also your benefits, your healthcare, your retirement savings. So your job is very valuable to you, not only because of the money you make there, but the benefits that it offers. So where do we stand with this proposal now? Is this something that's going to happen? Are we going to get $450 in our pocket every single week on top of our current wage? Well, right now, things are being finalized for this proposal, but the good thing is the White House and Trump administration have shown interest in doing something like this, which is a really good sign of this may be a thing. So right now, the way this $450 back to work bonus sits is that it's set to go until July 31st, which is the same date that the $600 unemployment boost ends. So now if both these payment options end on the same exact day, why would you go for the $450 one when you can make $150 more and not even have to go to work? Well, here's why. Portman's office arrived at this $450 per week by taking surveys throughout all the states, coming up with an idea of what the average wages and what their benefits are. This way they could come up with a number that would benefit to most people and be better off going to work than staying home. And here's how it works. So the federal minimum wage is currently $7.25 an hour, which means that person would be making about $290 every single week. So if you take that $290 every single week and you throw on top of that $450, that person who usually makes $290 would then be making $740 per week, which when you compare it to the $600 bonus is $140 more. Now that is how the senator is looking at this, but I instantly noticed a big flaw in this equation, which I will go over in just a second, so don't go anywhere. So this whole back to work bonus is an alternative solution to what the Democrats are proposing. Democrats like Bernie Sanders and some other ones are proposing that we basically replace income, right? What they want to do is keep people on the payroll, and this means it would cover 100% of their wages up to $90,000 and include their benefits. This is basically income replacement. Doug Jones says it would be a mistake to cut it off completely. without doing anything else. If you want to phase it out, we can figure that out, but we have to do something. So let's jump back to that fall I mentioned before, okay? Now I'm gonna base this whole thing off of averages, okay? So real numbers, your numbers, they may be different. It's gonna fluctuate a little bit, maybe higher, maybe lower. So according to the US Labor Department, the average person receives $378 every single week on unemployment. Now that all depends on what state you live in and how much you make and how many dependents you have. So if you take that $378, add the $600 boost, you end up with $978 every single week. Not bad, right? Gets better. Now, the average person in America earns $31,000 every single year or $596 a week. So you could already see that the average person making $596 a week, if they were on unemployment, they would make about $382 more per week on unemployment than if they were working their normal job for not working. But now let's say this $450 back to work bonus comes into play. If you go back to work, you're gonna earn $450 additionally on top of your salary. So you take your $596 a week salary plus $450, that means you're gonna be earning $1,046 per week. Okay, well, I guess this plan does work, right? I mean, 1,046 is definitely higher than 978, but only by $68, which proposes the question, are people really gonna go back to work for a lousy $68 more? I'm not saying $68 a week isn't a substantial amount. I mean, that is a lot of money for the average working person. But what I'm saying is, if you can make almost the same amount without having to work at all, why would you go back to work? Especially since the amount that you're receiving on unemployment is already $382 higher than your normal wage. So the answer is no. $68 is not enough to make somebody go back to work. Now here's another reason why this back to work bonus may not happen. The House already passed a Democratic proposal for the $3 trillion stimulus package, right? That happened like last week. In that proposal, they also included an extension of the $600 unemployment boost for 6 months. Meaning it would extend from July 31st all the way to January 31st. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole $3 trillion stimulus package right now. That's a completely different video, which you should subscribe and put the bell notifications on if you want to be notified when I post that video. But when you park $450 back to work bonus next to a $600 unemployment bonus for the next 6 months, which one sounds more appealing to you? And I think this is going to be an issue that the Republicans are going to face when they try to pass this $450 back to work bonus, right? Because the way they see it is it makes economical sense and they want to get people back to work. But the way the Democrats look at it is they have a better offer on the table. Senator Rand Paul says, when the government wage exceeds the market wage, you will get institutionalized unemployment. So it was a mistake to make it so high to begin with. It would be a mistake to extend it. Then you have Senator Kevin Cramer said, we have to do what's best for the country. I'm not saying my way is the only way, but I just don't think we can go back to it. We cannot extend $600 a month. On top of that, some Republicans are thinking that they're going to have to start phasing out this $600 unemployment boost. This way, it puts them in a greater position to better negotiate their back to work bonus. Now, whether you agree with this or you don't agree with it, I don't really care. I'm not saying I do. I'm not saying I don't. But it's pretty clear and straight out in front of you that as long as you have the unemployment bonus, the $600 additional weekly, as long as you have that in play, it doesn't seem likely that a back to work bonus is going to be effective at all. In fact, the only way I think it would work is for people who aren't receiving unemployment. Like they've been waiting and they haven't gotten anything, so they say, well, I may as well go back to work, I'll get that bonus. Let me ask you guys something. Which one would you prefer to have? Would you rather have the $600 unemployment boost or the $450 back to work bonus? Let me know in the comments below. Now, if you guys have been following my channel, then you'll know that every single proposal that comes out, I do a full breakdown, I do the research on all of it, and I make a really good video for you guys to watch so you can learn about it too, without having to do all the hard work. But I guess it's safe to say that I'm pretty well-rounded about all these proposals that are out there, and I'm pretty educated on what they're all about. I have to say, guys, to be honest with you, this back to work bonus would probably be the easiest one to implement, and here's why. All the other proposals out there have too many stipulations and, criteria that you have to reach in order to get that. It depends on how much money you make, or if it's a tax credit, or if it's cash up front, if you're an essential worker or not essential. There's a whole bunch of things that make it really confusing. So I will say the back to work bonus seems like it's the simplest one to implement, right? I mean, it's simple. If you go back to work, you get $450 a week. Done. But I'm really curious to see if this will apply to everybody, right? Because why would only the people going back to work to kind of bribe them, push them along, go back to work, get the money when you have everybody else working too? So I'm curious to see if this will work across the board for anybody who's working. There have been people working this entire time with no change at all and no extra income. But then you have the people who weren't working at all making more money on unemployment than that person working. And that's not their fault, it's just how the system is set up. But that's why I'm thinking that this is something that will probably apply to everybody. And as far as the timeline goes, right now they're saying July 31st, which is the same date that the $600 unemployment boost ends, right? And I think that's probably why they chose that date, but in reality, it probably should go a little longer. I mean, this way it helps people get back on their feet and it provides more of an incentive to go back to work. Because again, if it ends at the same time, why would you choose one over the other one when, unemployment, you're gonna make more money? So I think they have to make it a little more enticing for people to do. Let me know your thoughts and questions about this in the comment section down below. I read and respond to every single one of them. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I cover everything to do with finance, investing, and entrepreneurship. So if you're looking to make some extra money on the side, create some passive income to earn money while you sleep, or maybe you just wanna be kept up to date with all the stimulus news that's coming out, or want to get started with your own small business, then you're in the right place, guys. I post here every single day. So if you made it this far on the channel, I'm just going to assume that you guys liked the video. So why don't you show me that you did and smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Again, it greatly helps out my channel. And you should also join the team and subscribe. The little red rectangle right down there. I wish you guys the very best and to stay safe and healthy during these crazy times that we're living in. I know I say it all the time, but I think it's important to acknowledge the situation. Thank you everybody for watching. I'm Jim Leadus, and I hope to see you on the next one.